everyone. It's Clint Salter, your host for Dance Teachers Unite for 2015. I'm a little bit sad because today is our last day. It's day number 10. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Today is all about retention. And when I think retention, I don't just think about, how we're going to keep our students, how we're going to keep them so they don't go somewhere else. I really think about how can we really nurture and support our students so that they're getting the best from our training and so that they can go on to have amazing careers or just be amazing human beings, because we know that dance classes are so much more than just learning the steps. And so I'm so super happy to be able to bring on an expert when it really comes to nurturing and training our students. It's been her mission for a very long time, and I'm sure she's going to share some stories with us today. She is the founder of Dance Pathways. Please welcome our guest, the motivating and inspiring Susan Epstein. Hey, Susan, how are you?
I'm great, Clint. How are you?
Awesome. I'm very, very well. Susan, for those that might not know much about your work, which I don't think will be a lot of people, but for those that don't, can you tell us a little bit about what you do in this dance space, and also what is your big mission in the world?
Well, that's an interesting question, Clint. So Dance Pathways is actually pretty new for me. For the past 20 years or so, I've been a consultant in the dance apparel industry, in the dance business industry, and I'm also the founder and I was the director of the UDMA Dance Resource and Costume Show, again, for over 20 years. But it's time to move on in my life, and it's time to give back a bit, and that's sort of what Dance Pathways is all about. And I'm going to tell you a quick story here, what actually motivated me to do this.
Please.
So one of the associates I was working with got in touch with me a couple years ago because she had a distressed parent who got in touch with her. Now, this parent didn't quite know what to do. They had sent their daughter, who was a dancer in high school, to a very large university to get a degree in dance. And after her second year, after her sophomore year, she was very distressed because she didn't have the kind of performing opportunities that she wanted to have. And so she transferred to a smaller college where she went for her junior and supposedly her senior year. And at the end of her junior year, her parents came to see her perform, and they were appalled. They thought her technique was terrible. They didn't like the kind of choreography that was going on, and they thought that their daughter had ruined their life. And they didn't know what to do. And so they went to this person to ask for advice, and this person came to me to ask for advice. And I have to say my first reaction was, how did this happen? Who was advising this young person about what the choices are, how to pick a college that's right for them, how to pick a career that's right for them? There was just so many questions. And of course, I couldn't tell the parents that. I mean, that wasn't the right answer for them. And I advised them the best I could, to ask questions and what other choices were. But I thought, how did this happen? And so I thought there must be a way to better educate the parents, the teachers, the counselors about what the choices are after high school. So I guess my big mission is to help legitimize dance. I mean, we have so many people who think it's a hobby. It's not a hobby, okay? It's a career. As legitimate as music, theater, acting, graphic arts, dance should not be looked at as just Sally's dance studio. And so that's sort of my big mission, is to educate, empower, and not just the dancers, the dance studio owners, the dance teachers, the parents.
Yes.
So that's kind of where I'm going here.
And that's a big mission, because there's a lot of different people in that pot.
Yes.
Susan, I'd love to just start. You talked about opportunities for these young dancers that are maybe coming out of a dance studio and then are wanting to go to college. I mean, how have you seen those opportunities shift over the years? Because I know now that, even when I was coming, I was 16, 17 as a dancer. It's very different now to being 16, 17, 18 as a dancer. So what are some of those opportunities that exist now that didn't exist before?
Well, I'm not sure that the opportunities are all that different. I think the pathways to get to those opportunities are different.
Okay.
Um, Now, when I wanted to be a dancer, and of course I grew up in the dance world, I went to New York to be a dancer, and I failed miserably. I wasn't ready. No one had gotten me ready for that step. And I eventually went to college, got a degree, and found that through that process, even then, going to college was the way to make the connections.
Hmm.
Today, that's even more important, going to college or conservatory. When you go to see a Broadway show or you go to see a dance company and you read those dancers' bios, what's in those bios? Higher education. So
Mm.
that's where the dancers can make their connections, do the networking they need, get the depth of information they need to be performers or to be teachers. Or now, when you talk about opportunities, dance therapy, dance medicine, historians, critics, writers. How about designers, theatrical designers, commercial designers? How about all those companies that put out leotards, tights, shoes, costumes, marketing,
Mm.
sales? There's tremendous opportunities. And today, there's quite a few companies that or organizations that do dance for social change. And we'll talk about that more later. But dance is bigger than a competition.